might have. Oh God, it's so heavy. I like your goggles.
It's for safety.
Package, and I think I know what it is. We've been waiting a long time for these. Bum, bum, bum. It's a bunch of window gaskets. Guys, I'm to the point in my life where I get excited about 100 feet of window gaskets.
That's a lot of gasket.
Good morning, adventurers.
Hello there.
If you caught our previous video, we pretty much finished demolition on the RV, which is a huge load off because now we can move on to some other stuff.
There are a lot of storms predicted for this week, so I think we're gonna try to seal up as much things as we can.
Yeah, and you guys saw how we had the storm in our previous video. I was waiting for those gaskets that you saw in the beginning of the video before I could seal that window back up. So First things first, we're gonna do that. Then we're gonna have to start looking at the electrical wiring, seeing what we can salvage from in there, what new lines we have to run. We have this handy little diagram that we drew, very technical, to kind of get an idea of what all needs to be run before we start actually putting the wall panels up. First thing we're gonna do is get that window sealed. Right now, we are doing it. You guys wouldn't believe the stuff you can find online. They have all kinds of parts for these vintage trailers. These windows are from the 70s, and there's a website, vintagetrailergaskets.com, that actually makes, I guess, reproductions of vintage trailer window gaskets. That's what all this is. The way these old windows work is you have gaskets like this all around it. But these ones are all rotted out and gross. So before we put this window back in and actually reseal it, we got brand new gaskets. So this really couldn't be simpler. We pulled the old crappy one out here, and then you just slide the new one in, just like that.
Ooh.
Pretty satisfying.
Yeah.
Okay, we are ready to reseal this window. We've got all our butyl tape around the inside. We've sealed this part up here. Now we just gotta screw it in. Hope we didn't screw something up. All right, window is installed. We just have to clean up all this butyl tape that's oozing out and then put one more layer of sealant on the outside, and we're done. Next up, we really need to get this door back in because we've got that trash bag situation out there, and that's not gonna cut it for much longer. Should it be a permanent feature of the
I think so. Just trash bags and clamps, that'll do it.
That would definitely be our style. We debated buying a new door because you actually can get replacement doors. I don't know, I'm skeptical what level quality they are, and they're like $500, so maybe we'll clean this up and stick with the original door.
We realized we already have to get a custom window for the very front, which is why we haven't put that one back in. That's, how much was that?
$500.
That one was $500. So we figure maybe we'll save this for another day. You know, when it actually like falls off or something.
But like everything, it's got a bunch of gunk built up from the decades, so we're gonna clean all that out, and this thing's gonna be sparkling. You know, as much as you can make a piece of junk sparkle.
Yeah.
This is the rain guard that sits on top of the door, and there was a bit of rust built up where the screws were, so we were like, oh, no problem, we've got the must for rust.
Crud cutter.
Yeah, so we put this stuff on there, let it sit for a while. Look what it did to the screws.
Oh God.
I'm not sure if that's literally breaking it down to its original kind of aluminum color or if it's more of a chemical reaction. I'm leaning towards chemical reaction. I'll tell you why, because if you look down here, I got some on the concrete, and this is what it ended up doing. That's just a permanent mark I can't get off. It's basically exactly what happened here. So luckily, I was thinking about buying a replacement one of these anyway. Again, you can find anything online, you guys. So you can find these exact replicas online.
Yeah. So new development, new good development for once. We got this buffing kit to use on our windows, and Eric thought, well, let's just try it on here and see if it does anything. And oh my gosh, it made it look brand new.
So this was the one I really went to town on, these two here. And they're just super shiny now. So yeah, maybe we'll just keep this then. All right.
Yeah, that's good, because we couldn't quite find the exact dimensions we wanted for a new one. This thing is so fun. You like put it on like lipstick. Oh God. I don't know if they're supposed to get this dirty. Ours got really dirty.
This is literally 2 seconds it gets this dirty.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I'm down with this instead of waiting weeks for a new one to come in. Yay!
there's a mosquito infestation up here in the front of the RV that we just discovered. I'm vacuuming them up. Remains to be seen if that's a horrible idea or not. I think I'm gonna open this and we're gonna have a mosquito nest in the vacuum.
But we'll open it outside.
Yeah, definitely.
Another day, another thunderstorm on its way. So sadly yesterday we were prepping the door and then a big storm came through and it rained for hours and our wood got wet, so we had to let it air out. But today, this morning, we're finally putting the freaking door on. No more of this freaking plastic.
Get this thing out of here. I'm over it.
From up here, I already see some gray clouds off in the distance.
Yeah.
No bueno. It better stay away.
We're racing the clock, racing the clouds.
Come at me, Mother Nature.
The first step to getting this door in is to put this drip guard on there. So this sits on the top and does exactly what it says, which is good because we're gonna seal the door as well as we can, but this is kind of the first line of defense to keep water out of the doorway. Does that look right? The holes line up, I mean, that's good. This is the wrong drill. Dang. I always get so nervous before I screw something in. Like I always say, I don't wanna have to redo it. We've installed our nice, freshly polished drip guard. So you can see all the butyl tape seeping out right there. And then once that kind of settles, we're gonna put a bit of sealant here and on here. So ain't no water getting up in here, right?
Hopefully.
We're getting rid of this plastic thing once and for all. Get out of my life. I like your goggles.
Thanks, it's for safety. They're the biggest ones I could find because I'm really scared of this thing.
This is special tape for sealing corners, and it is impossible to get the backing off of this.
You always think you got it, and you go to rip it, and then it's just...
You gotta pull really hard. That's the key.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah!
Nice job.
Oh, baby.
Oh, man. We have installed the butyl tape all around the door. I don't know if you guys can see it. We're really just trying to make sure we line up these screw holes right. I think it's gonna be really difficult.
It's gonna be really hard because it's really heavy. I think the door has to be floating a bit for it to fit.
Yeah, so we're probably gonna mess this up.
This is gonna be awful, but enjoy.
Voila, installed. We managed to get all the screws lined up. It seems to fit perfectly, like, fingers crossed.
Literally perfectly.
Suspiciously perfectly.
Yes, that's what I guess.
We might have, I'm stuck.
Oh, God.
We might have a doorway on our hands. Now we just gotta put about 1,000 screws in this thing.
Beer delivery for a job done.
For me, scale of 1 to 10, how sweaty am I, guys?
You're just glowing.
How are you not as sweaty as I am? I don't understand it.
Well, you were doing most of the screwing.
Yeah, that is true. That is my specialty.
I was just the voyeur this time.
So here's the seam we got going on. Looks pretty good. So that's just butyl tape spewing out there, which is what you want to see, I think. We're just gonna let that settle for a bit and then we'll rip all that stuff off. Then we'll put a layer of clear sealant on the outside. We're gonna have like 4 lines of defense against water on this door. If it leaks, I give up. That's it.
It was just meant to be at the bottom of an ocean at that point.
Yeah. You guys, I thought we were done with this monstrous plastic bag, but we're not.
We have to use it one more time. We got the door on. It has the butyl tape. Eric sealed it all around with clear sealant, but we're not sure how long that takes to cure. It's almost definitely going to storm tonight.
I don't want any water touching my brand new sealant until it's ready, all right?
So I figured out there is a little channel up above the door that's round. So I found some dowel rods, taped them together, wrapped the plastic around it. Now we're gonna fish that through and then clamp it down at the bottom. And that's
actually a really good idea if it works.
Oh God.
Is it on?
That was cute, yeah.
All right, this is version 2 of the goofy plastic tarp idea. Oh,
did it go in?
Oh, I think, well, kinda. Dang it. Almost success, I got it in. Whoa! All right, that kind of works.
Yeah.
Sure, whatever.
It'll be something.
I don't know. We are actually going to build something new today, not just repair old stuff. We need to build a wheel well box around this wheel well, but we're doing it a lot different than the one that was originally here. This is actually where our refrigerator is going to sit, but it's about yay big, about the exact size of this wheel well. So we're gonna build a nice sturdy frame around this that it's gonna sit on, and then we're gonna build the really basic cabinetry around that. Then we're gonna have a little pull-out drawer for the fridge. I'm putting a handy little SketchUp that I did on the screen right now. Will the final result actually look like this? I don't know, probably not, but we're gonna do our best.
Maybe after many, many iterations.
Yes, there will be a lot of trial and error. We also still need to remove this wheel well box, but as you can see, all the electricity and stuff, this was kind of the junction for all that stuff. I've actually snipped most of this, and then we have to just kind of organize the wires, get this stuff out of here, which we're gonna do in just a bit.
Next up, we're finally removing the cover for this wheel well. We're going to be running our own electricity. It will not be going here. So theoretically, we should be able to just kind of snip all of this out, rerun it, take this all off. Easy peasy, right?
This thing is surprisingly heavy. Eventually, we're gonna go really in-depth with the whole power setup, but right now, we just have this mess that we're working through. But most of this is gonna be removed. But basically, this is your 120 volt power, which is just like your wall outlet. So regular standard plugs that you would plug into. That's gonna go. This behemoth right here is a, oh God, it's so heavy. This is where your DC power comes from. That is basically like cigarette outlet type of power, 12 volt power, which we're gonna talk a lot more about in later videos. We're basically gonna be replicating these systems with much more modern equipment. This right here is your shore power hookup. So this goes out this hole over here and then plugs in to just a campsite outlet. We are gonna have shore power, but we're probably gonna get a new one of these because God only knows how old this actually is. Other than that, we just have all of this low voltage wiring right here, which is all still good, in good condition. So we're gonna reuse this. And then we have our 120 volt. So we're going to keep these wires and just run a few plugs with them, but we're not gonna be doing a ton of that type of power. Most of it's gonna be run off of this via the battery and the solar. Come here, buddy. Marvin, how you doing? You coming to say hi, huh? You having a good day? Marvin. Bye.
Well, y'all, I could not leave well enough alone. I started poking and prodding back in here because I knew there was a hole in this wheel well and I wanted to see. So I started ripping it off. There was wall paneling a little bit left, so I ripped it out. And I just found awfulness upon awfulness.
The wood is just disintegrated back there.
I mean, it's not even wood anymore. Like, oh, it looks like spaghetti.
So we got more stuff to fix, yay!
Yes.
We've been trying to look on the bright side. This seems easier to fix than what we fixed over here, so yeah. Bright side, right? I think that's actually gonna do it for this video. We didn't get that far, I know, you guys, but we hit some roadblocks.
Yeah.
So we thought we could just knock out this box, but what we found out is that while a lot of the rest of the RV seems to be square because we've measured it as much as we could, this spot is not. And part of it is because of the work we did over there. The other part is that whatever they had here is just not square. So when you put stuff up against it, there's all these gaps and things. We just need to make sure this box is level so the counter we build on top of it is level. So we've measured it every which way, and we have a plan of how to proceed, but TBD if that's a good idea or if we'll actually do it
today.
No.
But we are currently just waiting on our registration and our license plates to come in for our new vehicle, and then we can do some hopefully local trips and do some fun stuff in there, because that's what we bought it for road trips and to give us a little vacation from the RV hell. Yeah. Time to decompress, turn our brains off, because it's been a day. Goodbye, adventurers.
We'll see you on the road eventually.